Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, viewers of all ages, welcome, welcome. I'm the man Erick Daniel Coughlin. This is the show Just My Thoughts. How you doing? How you doing? Me? Doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. All right, so today on Just My Thoughts, we gonna strike up the what's been promised as to clearing out the thought tracker. I said that I would break down the top 10 metal bands, so that's exactly what we're going to do. I'm going to give you, in my opinion, the best top 10 best metal bands that you could ever look up, ever listen to, in my opinion. Now, I want to get things straight right off the bat. I want to clear this up before we ever get started, so all you haters can hate later. I'm talking about primarily classic metal, what metal was supposed to be when it first got created. I'm not talking about all this hibbery jibbery bullcrap that you can listen to today. Truth is, music has been evolving. It's always evolved since it's been created, but about every 3 years, there's a new sound, right? There's a new band, there's somebody doing something that no one's ever done before, and it's pretty much steered away from what its originalities are. So I'm giving you, in my opinion, the best 10 original metal bands. Not, you're not going to hear nothing about Avenged Sevenfold. You're not going to hear nothing about, Atreyu or any of those guys or what was that real popular band in around 2000 era? Give me 5 more seconds and I'll tell you while I'm chewing. What was that band? Uh, Hawthorne Heights. That's the band I'm talking about. So anyway, bands like that. So what's like alternative metal, what they call like, and I'm not doing death metal either. So I want you guys to understand that I am doing classic metal. So that's what we're doing today. And let's get started with it. I'll give you number one, primarily, probably, in my opinion, maybe the best metal band ever in the world. I'm talking about Metallica as number one metal band. Number two metal band, this might be a shocker to you, but it's not a shocker to me. I absolutely love these guys. I listen to them not every day, but if I'm like in a rock out mood, if I want to just drink a few beers and headbang and just relax and be more myself, these guys I listen to quite often. I'm talking about Godsmack being the second best metal band in the world. Third best metal band in the world, I'm talking about Mudvayne. I absolutely love Mudvayne. I love their energy. I love their style. I love their lyrics. I love everything that they bring to the table. Mudvayne being number three metal band. How you doing? Number four, Pantera. So a lot of you metalheads might say Pantera is the best ever. They might be their number one, might be their number two. A lot of them, but me, Pantera is number four on my list, and that's still pretty good, right? We're giving you a top 10, and they're still above the top five, and I like them. I like Cemetery Gates. I like 5 Minutes Alone, and, I like Walk, and, Cowboys from Hell. I like them, but it's just not enough for me. Like when you look up Pantera, I feel like there's like 5 or 6 really good songs, and that's about it. When you look up Metallica, I feel like there's probably 20 or 30 songs. You can generate a huge playlist with Metallica to where you can generate a handful of songs with Pantera. But now that's just if you feel like me. Now that's how I feel. That's how I think. If you think like I think, then we're right up the alley, baby. We're doing this together. We're chopping it up. What's the fifth band? I want to tell you. Fifth band is Rob Zombie. So again, for like all you older dudes, if you're like 50 and you're 60 and you stumbled across my show, maybe even you could be younger than that. You could be like in your late 40s, stumbling across my show, and you're like, Rob Zombie's number five. Are you fucking smoking crack? Answer is absolutely not. I've never smoked crack in my life. I never will smoke crack in my life. Rob Zombie is the fifth best metal artist. And the reason why he's so low on my list, actually, I didn't want to list him at all because of his way of life, being a sadist. I absolutely hate all that. Like, I'm not like, little goody two shoes guy. I'm not, the church boy. I'm not going to, sing at the altar. I'm not that guy, but I'm also not a sadist. How you doing? I do believe in the higher power. I know that there's Jesus Christ. I understand the Bible. I can list biblical lyrics for you. Bible verses for you. I'm not going to do all that because we're talking about metal, so it's almost like being sacrilegious here. But that's exactly the reason why he's five on my list. And if it wasn't for like Super Beast, and if it wasn't for Living Dead Girl, he probably wouldn't even be on my list at all. But he's made music that just it rocked. I mean, I hate to admit that because, like I said, his lifestyle was chaotic, but his music absolutely rocked. If you're a headbanger, if you like to freaking nod your head, shake your fist, and just feel the energy, then you like Rob Zombie. That's why Rob Zombie's on this list. How you doing? Number 6 on the list. Actually, for me, he should have been higher, but I put him at 6. It's really strange, and I guess that's fitting. I guess he could be 4. He could have took the place of Pantera and put Pantera at 5 and Rob Zombie. Keep on pushing Rob Zombie down the list because the way he likes to live. But if you're wondering who I'm talking about Disturbed. I grew up liking Disturbed, grew up listening to Disturbed. I was like in that era, right? Like when they come out and they were popular, I was at that teenage stage. I could be easily influenced by almost anything, and I was influenced by the way they like to rock and roll. I absolutely loved, to this day, I still love Disturbed. I could probably generate a 25 or 30 song playlist of nothing but Disturbed and not even want to push the next button, not be discouraged and change my playlist. I would just play it all day. Metallica, I would play all day. Disturbed, I'd play all day. Mudvayne, I'd play all day. Godsmack. I mean, that's the kind of guy that I am. How you doing? Sorry that you... Actually, let's just do that. Let's just... Disturbed is the 4th best. And then, Rob Zombie gets pushed to the 6th best. And then, sorry, but Pantera takes the cut at number 5. So let's go to number 7. Number 7, I give it the 7 best. And, just because, again, like they were, late 80s, early 90s, pushed through the 2000s. Actually, I just seen that they, Seven Dust is releasing a new album, and actually they're on tour right now. So you just take that in consideration. Seven Dust is still on tour, and they've been making music, recording music professionally since the 90s. How you doing? That's why there's 7 on the list. Number 8 on the list, Killswitch Engage. And I don't know a whole lot of music about Killswitch Engage, but I do know that they've done a shit ton of music, and it's never switched one time. These guys have never sold out once. That's why I love them. They stay true to who they are and how they play. And let's be honest, like Holy Diver, I know that they didn't write that song, but I do know that they remade that song. And let's be honest, you cannot listen to Holy Diver by Killswitch Engage and not clench your motherfucking fist. If you can't clench your fist, listen to that song, turn the motherfucker off and go play hopscotch with the girls, because that's a ball-shaking motherfucking song. Holy Diver is awesome. So that's the reason why, just because of Holy Diver, is the whole reason why I even know who Killswitch Engage is, which is why they're number 8 on my list. How you doing? And then sorry about that. I had to clear my throat because I'm getting ready for a cigarette. Dude, this is what I'm doing, bro. It's what I do, bro. Sorry. Now I'm having problems. Thanks a lot. Number 8 on the list, Drowning Pool. Now, again, you guys can make your own fucking list if you want to, but I'm pretty sure if you made your own list, you could probably just renumber my list. That's how awesome my list is. But number 8, Drowning Pool. Bodies, when that released, Bodies released what? Year 99, year 2000. Again, I was like 10, 11, 12 years old hearing this. I was just like, oh my God, I absolutely love this, right? And you're thinking at 12 years old, what kind of kid are you to love Bodies, listening to Bodies? Well, I don't know what kind of kid I was. I must have been a cool-ass fucking kid, because let me tell you, I'm 35 years old, and that's still a cool fucking song. So I must have been a cool fucking kid, because I love Bodies, and I love Drowning Pool. And Drowning Pool was number 8 on the list. Yeah, 9 on the list. Drowning Pool was number 9 on the list. Sorry about that, guys. And finally, last, but certainly not least, how about Megadeth? Because again, I told you, I'm more into the classic sound of what metal is presented and brought to. And I absolutely love Megadeth. I think really Megadeth probably should have been number 2. It should have been Metallica, and then should have been Megadeth. And to my understanding, I could be wrong about this, so you can stat me if you want. If I'm wrong, please reach out to me and tell me that I'm wrong. But I think that they were like intertwined together. I think a lot of their members were the same. They played the same music. I think they had the same bassist and same singer, but the guitarists were different. Like I said, if I'm wrong, you can always inform me. I'd like to be informed, because I didn't really Google any of this stuff. I'm just telling you how I think and how I feel about music in general, which is I'm a headbanger. I love music. My favorite genre of music is alternative. I'm an alternative head, but if I stray away from alternative, I go to metal. I don't go softer, I go harder. It's just what I do. It's what I've always done. As you can tell, I've got a nice background of what metal even sounds like. I just give you my top 10. If you were listening, I give them to you all over again because I like to do that. So I'm doing it again. Number 1, Metallica. Number 2, Godsmack. Number 3, Mudvayne. Number 4, Pantera. Number 5, Rob Zombie. Number 6, Disturbed. Number 7 was Seven Dust. Number 8 was Drowning Pool. Number 9 was Killswitch Engage. And number 10 was Megadeth. Those are the top 10 metal bands, of my opinion, and of my lifetime. Now, if you're older than me, your list is probably a lot different. If you're younger than me, your list you probably don't even know these guys. Like if you are 18 years old, just graduating high school, and you think you're a headbanger, honestly, you're not a headbanger, bro. You don't even know what it means to headbang. Sure, you can use Google and you can use, Spotify and you can use YouTube and you can look up all these old songs, but you don't know what it feels like to grow up with these old songs like we do. How you doing? So, that sums up the top 10 metal bands, in my opinion. And we're only floating around 13, 14 minutes of this episode. So guess what we're going to do? We're going to break down a little bit more. Because I did that last time we talked about music, right? I gave you a top 10, and then I gave you 5. So that's what I'm going to do. Because I told you I'm an alternative head, right? Right. And I am an alternative head. Are you? Yes. So what I'm going to do, in my opinion, give you, of my generation era, all you 35, 36, 37-year-olds, 38-year-olds, even 30-year-olds, if you're within, the decade of me, you've probably heard all these bands and you probably like all these bands. If, again, you're a headbanger, you have to be a headbanger to even enjoy and understand what the hell I'm even talking about. Like when certain songs hit, you're drinking a beer and you hear an Unforgiven by Metallica, it hits you. If you're drinking a beer and you hear Bodies by Drowning Pool, it hits you. And that's what I'm talking about. If you're smoking a joint and you hear Holy Diver by Killswitch Engage, it hits you. So, top 5 alternative bands. Number 1 alternative band, my favorite band in the entire world. And this is true. I think out of all the music I've heard in my life, I don't think I've ever heard music better performed than the way they perform it. Rise Against, number 1. Number 2, Thrice. Thrice is a lot like Rise Against. The difference is lyrical. Thrice might be better at writing songs, but I just feel like performing songs, Rise Against is better. I like their speed, I like their power, I like their aggression, I like everything Rise Against does. So Rise Against number 1, Thrice number 2, number 3 would be Chevelle. I absolutely love Chevelle. Number 4 would be Taking Back Sunday, which is kind of funny, right? Because a lot of people would be like, Taking Back Sunday is punk band. Well, are they? Is Taking Back Sunday a punk band, or are they alternative band? I call them an alternative band, and I also say that they're the 4th best alternative band I've ever heard in my life. How you doing? And then number 5 would be. Wait a minute. Taking Back Sunday. Yeah, Chevelle was 3. Taking Back Sunday was 4. And number 5, again, like I said, would probably be Breaking Benjamin. So a lot of people. This is a really big conversation for a lot of people. So a lot of people want to call Breaking Benjamin, Southern rock. A lot of people want to call them like light metal. A lot of people want to call them just plain rock and roll. I think, the way he sings, the way they play, their energy, the lyrics that they use, the style of play that they use, they are by far more alternative than they are anything. And they're also the 5th best to ever do it. How you doing? So, there you go. Of my genre, I give you top 5 bands of my era. Rise Against, Thrice, Chevelle, Taking Back Sunday, and Breaking Benjamin. How you doing? So, if you like what you heard and you enjoy what you see, always feel free to cash at me, Erick Coughlin, #Coughlin Pride. Now, all you guys go rock out and have an awesome day.